Welcome to Electric Fund. Today we are going to discuss about dual slope integrating type DVM. So in the earlier session we have already discussed about ramp type DVM. So in ramp type DVM we have come across one disadvantage that noises are produced. So in order to overcome these noises which is causing a disturbance, there is nothing but a large number of errors are caused. So in order to overcome this noise as a disturbance, we are going for dual slope integrating type DVM. So what is happening in dual slope integrating type ramp DVM means the noise is getting averaged out by both the positive as well as negative ramps using the process called as integration. So here you can observe two figures, one is to explain about the basic principle and the other one is about the block diagram of dual slope integrating type DVM. So from this figure you can observe that we can see EI is the slope which is obtained which is proportional to the input voltage, and this is a slope which is obtained for a negative voltage ER. So from this figure we could observe that we are having two slopes. One slope is taken as a positive slope and the other one is taken as a negative slope. So now we will explain about the basic principle of dual slope type DVM. So from this figure we can observe that during time period T1 a slope is produced. That slope is this one. So the slope is this one which is produced for a particular time period T1. The slope whatever it is produced is produced due to the proportional voltage which is applied as an input, that is EI. So the time period is taken as T1. So T1 is the time period during which a positive slope is produced and that slope is proportional to the input voltage applied. So after T1 we are getting another slope. That slope is called as a negative slope, and the slope which is produced is due to the negative voltage, that is minus ER, and the time period is taken as T2. So during T1 we are getting a positive slope and during T2 we are getting a negative slope. So during this time period the capacitor in the circuit gets charged and during this time period the capacitor gets discharged. So in such a way that it is producing dual slope. So due to this dual slopes the averaged noise can be eliminated. I mean the noises which is produced in ramp type can be eliminated. So now we will come for the block diagram explanation of dual slope integrating type DVM. So based upon the principle of dual slope integrating type DVM, this is the following block diagram. It consisting of a switch drive, flip-flop, counter display, this is an AND gate and this is the oscillator, and this one is comparator generally called as zero detector. This is the integrator and the capacitor, resistor R1 and S1 and S2 switch. So this is input voltage EI and this is the negative voltage ER. So during the initial conditions a pulse is sent in such a way that the counter display as well as flip-flop will be set to a logic 0 state, and the switch drive, what does this switch drive do means it sends a signal to this point. That switch S1 has to be connected to the input voltage EI. So as soon as S1 is connected the input voltage is supplied to the circuit. So during this time period what happens means the capacitor gets charged. So as soon as the capacitor is getting charged, we are considering from this figure you can see that T1 is the time period when capacitor is charged. So the output of the integrator will be a positive slope. So that is applied to the zero detector. So what does this zero detector do? It will check whether the ramp signal is crossing the zero or not. So from this initial position you can observe it is starting from zero position, it is slowly linearly it is increasing. So what does the zero detector do? It will detect the 0 point of the ramp signal. Then it sends a signal, it gets activated and then it sends a signal to the gate that gate has to be opened, such that the ramp signal has already detected the zero detector and the gate will receive a signal that gate has to be opened. So as soon as the gate has been opened the pulses will be sent through the gate and the counter shows the display. So the maximum count of the counter display will be 9999. Up to this will be the maximum count. After this what will happen? A carry signal will be generated in such a way that all the digits will again become 0 and the flip-flop will be attaining a state called as logic 1. So whenever this flip-flop is attaining a logic 1, it is sent to the switch drive in such a way that the switch is getting disconnected from the input voltage and it connects to the S2 switch. I mean S2 will be connected to the negative voltage, that is ER. So we have already seen during S1 connection we are getting a positive slope due to the capacitor whichever it is charging and the charging time period is taken as T1. Now what happens, as maximum count has been reached, the flip-flop again it is receiving a next state, that is logic 1. Then switch drive will automatically sense a signal that switch S2 has to be connected to the negative voltage. Now switch S2 is connected to the negative voltage. So during this what happens means the capacitor whatever it is already charged will slowly discharge. I mean it is linearly discharging and the time period taken as T2, which is very short period. So that slope whatever we are getting, this slope can be called as a negative slope, that is which is proportional to the negative voltage ER. So what happens, capacitor gets charged. So again the comparator will send a signal to the gate, that gate has to be open, and whatever the pulses is received, the counter will show the reading in the counter display. As soon as the ramp signal is reaching to the 0, what happens, the 0 detector is detecting the 0 position of the ramp signal, then it sends a signal to the gate. What does the gate do? Gate will close the AND gate, gate will close and the pulses won't be received by the counter, and counter shows as 0 as its display. So this is what happening in your dual slope integrating type DVM. So here you can see gate is open for 1 and gate is closed for 0, right? From this you can see this is the average time period of T1 and T2. T1 is nothing but during the capacitor charging, and T2 is the time period during capacitor is discharging.